Yes. Come on, I'm just a bad photographer.
Is that the radio? You got a radio on?
No. How's
Now, the other videos we made
Yes.
were on behalf of yourself, or myself, my family, your organisation. But this is for your mother.
Amazing.
Because I wanted your mother to know the sort of son that she brought. I also know that your father, of course, is very aware of everything, but I also wanted to acknowledge your mother in relation to her husband and what they brought on the earth through you. So Rastafari mother, I don't know her name.
Her name is Vida.
Vida. Well, I can say that quite easily.
Yeah.
So welcome and thank you, Vida, for your gift, Mr. Samuel. So we've had reasonings about the spiritual aspects of life.
Yes.
And one of those that we spent a long time on has been the flower, which is the feminine principle, and the masculine principle, the fence.
That's it.
So, and this ties in very, very, very much to the work you do with women and nature, and seeing them as nature and experiencing yourself through them as the Great Mother. Okay, so talk to us a bit more about your understanding of who and what we are, and your understanding of your place as the masculine within that. The fence.
Right. So as we on the bus coming last time, we were explaining the fence nature, which is the masculinity and the feminine aspect of a woman, which is to show how blossomy they are. So women will see themselves as a flower. So they like to always show it and blossom when the sun shines, or when they have a safe place.
Absolutely.
Which is a fence. And so I think that is missing in our era this time, because we are always up for money and other things. But there's more to it as a woman and a man. Basically and naturally, and going back, I think that's how nature made it. That a man will take care of or protect a woman. And everybody will have his or her own jurisdiction, understanding about relationship with regards to still procreating and making the world to be as it is, or as we still get in humanity. Very important point. So to speak, a woman should feel like a woman around a man as naturally, but not to be on the economic stage and compete with men.
Can I, sorry, I want to cut clear because you said something interesting. What do you mean, because I know you know, what do you mean a woman should be or feel like or express herself as a woman? I know you know, yeah, but for the viewers, yeah, what do you mean? Because I do, you're very intuitive, you know, you can feel it. Yeah, but can you say it so that people watching, young princesses for example, watching from your organisation and from everywhere in life that you touch the lives of young princesses, can know and understand? What do you mean?
Most of the times, women know what exactly they are, but they want men to declare it, men to show it, to tell them. So every woman might have a way she would like a man to tell how she looks or how she feels and what she's expecting a man to do for her. And so those are the things men have to do for women, for them to be happy.
We ain't got no secrets no more. Yeah, it's real. Real. So she sends that message to you.
Yes.
And how does she send that? Or, yeah, how is it sent?
Okay, so most women will send this message to gestures. Some also, with they are talking, you need to decode their language.
Yeah, a bad boy. A bad man.
So you need to decode a woman's language. It's going to be body language, gestures, or probably her speaking. Probably she's going to speak, but it's going to be proverbial. And you have to really decode that proverb.
Girls, we are down. Stay away. Run. If you see him, run.
So you need to be smart as a man, as a masculine, to understand these things of a woman.
Yes, I agree. I agree. The masculine needs to be masculine, mature.
Yes.
Today in session, I touched on with the girls. I gave an example of my journey through you.
Yes.
And I said, had I been a younger woman, I would have married you.
Exactly.
Now,
Interesting.
I didn't mean as in it would have worked, nothing like that, but I'm talking about the quality, the calibre.
Okay.
Yeah? And trying to get through to the sisters and opening my vulnerability for my story, because I've chosen other types of males. Yeah? I've now chosen a king man, who's a man, but, you know, before chosen other types of males who, of course, were not mature, and I was coding my language because, yeah? Not realising it. I realise it now, speaking to him. This brother's half my age. Anyway, and you are on point, and I don't feel it ever changes for us. I don't know about a man. We always want to be beautiful and shine and be a part of. And in my experience of you just a couple of days, it's not that I don't know any other men, of course I do, but I'm having the same experience with the same type of brother all the time. I want to be with them, I want to touch them, I want to, you know, connect, you know. I love the eye contact. I experience different ages happening in myself. Like if I'm looking in your eyes, I can experience different ages of me, vulnerability, womanhood, shine. I can experience different things because the masculine in you, yeah, holds that vulnerable aspect of me, because all I really want to do is shine. Yeah? And your type of masculine offence holds that space. Yeah?
Yes.
We touch, you and I kind of touch everything really, don't we? Yeah? The illegal and the legal. We talk about older women, or I touch on that, older women, younger men.
Yes.
I don't think we've touched older men, younger women.
No, you haven't touched on that.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, older women,
Attraction.
young women, older men, young women. Okay, so you want to speak about why older men will take young girls?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. I think naturally most men would like to play the polygamy kind of character, and then from psychology, men will always want to be attracted to something beautiful. And nobody wants to buy flowers which is weary, which is dying, which is withering, you know.
I love it.
But if you want to live with a woman for 40, 50 years, then you have to be looking at the character, personality of the woman, which is the feminine aspect of the woman, her maturity, what makes your vision and your mission happen. And so you forget about the body, but you look inside the beauty of the woman. And that's the point where you can say you can live with a woman for 50 years, for 60 years. Because if you don't have that and you just look at the outward looks of the woman, you can never stay with one woman. And so all you'll be left with is always polygamy, or one woman to another, anything in beautiful skirts, you just really jump for it. And so that's why most men, older men, will go for young girls all the time. because it's beautiful and they just want to get that piece of thing out thinking that's all they look at.
Oh.
But whereas me, I would always like to get someone who can help me achieve my vision. My
Yeah,
aims.
you always say that.
Exactly.
You always say that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's an angle. Now, do you feel, personally I don't, yes I do feel there's a lot of slackness and a lot of running around and carrying on, but I do not feel that it isn't possible to have a young princess and an older man that actually have something going on. But yet, you know, people think because of age difference it can't be. But I do feel there are those cases. Yeah, okay, so we're on the same page. But outside of that maturity, because he obviously, what you're saying is, that king man will be mature, so he'll be choosing the young princess from a certain place in himself, right? So now, I gave you my version, older woman, younger man, gave you a bit of my story and what is happening. What do you think? I mean, I gave you one version and we know there's the excitement version, yeah? So first talk to us about the excitement version of maybe a withering flower and a younger man.
Amazing. So, with a perspective of a withering flower and a younger man, so, you know, women have this notion about themselves. They know themselves. Some will know themselves very well, but as long as they leave the bracket of 30, 40, they have that kind of vulnerability. And first of all, women will feel very comfortable with men all the time, you know, and so they feel more comfortable when they are very young with men. But as long as they leave the 30, 40 bracket, and they don't really get that kind of vibrancy from a young guy anymore, they still feel like, okay, we can still get a young guy to make us feel this way. So they are unsafe when they are getting old, when they are getting to that withering stage. So the energy that probably the 40-year man might have, the younger man might have more.
So what type of energy are we talking about? Are we just talking about basic sexual energy or something else?
Yes, like number one could be basic sexual energy, how the young guy is going to make her feel.
Okay, I wanna understand that, because as I touched, when I was in Jamaica, it was, you know, young brothers would approach their version. Oh, I want to make you feel young, and I always feel young, and I always feel youthful. So it wasn't working for me. But now you're gonna help me to understand maybe what they were saying in a way I didn't understand.
Okay. Good. So here's the thing. Let's use ourselves for an example now. You are the withering flower, and I'm the young masculine or the male. Yes. So what I'm going to make you feel is, so far as I'm with you, you're going to feel safe. You feel like, you still feel mentally like you are young. Because, okay, so here's the thing. So if I'm 25 or 26, I should get a partner who is about 23, 24, 25. My kind of age bracket. But here's the thing, I'm getting 60 or 50. And you know, there's everything that is really young is vibrant and doesn't want to grow. And so you get the point. And so if you get me very young, you still feel like you're still in that bracket, that mentally young. Because that's where you can go to the parties, and then the young guys world is going to instigate yours now. Because
yes, continue. I'm just thinking it.
Because if I'm going to go to the club at this point in time, you are the person I'm in love with, or you are my lover, so I have to take you there. And which me taking you there, you feel safe, even if there are young girls there.
That's really interesting. So, what's happening, what can be happening to me as in the mind, is that when I look at your word speaking, youthful face and physique, I experience myself in your age group.
That's it.
Sorry, people! I'm sorry, I just have, a silly sense of humour. So, it's common, we talked about, and I talked about mine, and give thanks, there's enough grounding in me, that's why I give thanks, I really give thanks. Can you imagine? But for sisters who seriously don't have the grounding or are so desperate to be 25, whatever again,
Yes.
that can be really quite a desperate space to be in, because you are at war with a natural process. And one of the young girls today spoke about, I can't remember the question, I was asking her about the cycle of things, and she described it as when the body's maturing. Yeah? So I'm looking at, well, the sister in this instance can be at war with her own maturity and seeking to cease it or reverse it through a younger man. Yeah, that's all right. What are we saying for the brothers from what you said?
Yes.
Not all, obviously, but my elder that I had in Kenya, he said to me, when he was a younger man, the thirst was for older women. Now he's an elder, the thirst is for younger women. Do you understand that?
Wow. I think I've had some experience like that before.
Tell me more. Mama, are you listening? Confessions.
And so it got to a point in time, I think 2 years or 3 years back, I admired women who are about 35 to 40 years. I don't know, and sometimes I think it's just instigation, public instigation, because we had the notion, okay, yes, so we have a lot of needs as young guys, and we can't really achieve them quickly, but these women have the funds, have the money, and if we should give them what they want, definitely they're going to release to us whatever we need. And so that's the first thing, it's about social status.
That's what my Kingman says.
For
that's
young guys.
Interesting. That's exactly what he said.
Because at that point, those women 35, 40 are mature. Probably they don't have husbands, so they might be by all means financially sound. And they need a man. And they are good, they have the body, they are really stout. Yeah, because when a woman is growing, she's going to take some phase. 2025, she's now trying to work, so she's going to be working more harder, and she's not going to be very tough and things.
Run from him.
But as she's going, you're going to see that she's getting herself now. She's becoming a woman, really.
Yeah.
And
on her own feet.
Exactly.
Me understand.
And so we see that we are very enticed. We are moved by that.
Is it an element of power? She looks powerful.
She looks powerful.
Okay. So, how does it work? Does it work? Can it work?
Yes, it can work. When this comes on social level, when I say social level, means what both wants to get, probably the young guy wants to get from the woman, if the woman also wants to feel more young, because it could be another scenario that she's not getting men because of her social status or economic status.
Incredible.
And most of the times, what happens to those kind of women are that men are afraid of them to approach them.
True? I've heard it. Is it true?
Yeah, it is really true.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to approach such women at all.
Any women, anyone.
Any women.
You're not afraid.
Unless I say I don't want to approach her.
Yeah.
And tell you what, most of them want men to approach them, but because of their director, CEO, and things like that, so they have power. And so most men can't really go to them and say, we like you, we want to roll with you or something. You see what I mean? So that is the thing that is happening. But the other side, so if a boy is growing or a man is growing, And so, say I get that young woman who's about 35, 40, and I still like her. But as soon as I started living the 20, 25, 20, 26, 27, as I'm approaching 30, I come back to my senses. Is this going to help me? Can I get a future from this 10 years to come? When I'm 40, she's going to be 60. Is that going to help me? As soon as I see another wrinkled woman, I'm going to be imagining her in that state in some years to come. Because we always want beautiful flowers. At that 35, 40, she looks amazing. She looks powerful.
Yeah. But your perception changes as you mature.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I've got that.
So some might have side chicks still rolling with a 35, 40-year woman. Because after he's given whatever that woman needs, he's going to come back to the young girl who's going to have the fun and the other things and the money spent on her with.
Wow! I mean, you're describing Jamaica, but not as, you're describing it much more human than it actually was. So this is because I heard these types of things, but not in a way you're able to explain it to me that I can grasp.
Okay.
You're obviously using a language that I can understand. Yeah?
I'm glad.
Do you feel, we're going to touch on virginity, because we just had a reason about that, on the various levels, physical, spiritual.
Yes.
But do you feel that an African man, black man, can be monogamous, one woman, one man, generally? Because personally I don't, but I don't have an issue with it. I'll hand it over to you.
That's a good question. Personally, I think I can be monogamous.
Okay.
And I'm glad, because I always wish to stay with one woman forever and ever.
Okay.
I can do 2 or 3 or 4. I just want to choose one queen, and that's why I always want to search very well to get one woman, and that's anything about her, I love it. And so nothing's going to turn me away to look at another woman to admire her. So I have to take my time to look very well, to look through very well. Whatever qualities I'm looking out in a woman.
Yes, I know you're looking.
I'm just going to look for that qualities, and if she has them, I go for them. Because anytime I need those qualities, it's going to be ready on my table.
Oh, powerful.
Yeah.
No, that is something, because since we've been reasoning, you've been saying over and over again, she has to be on my thing.
Yeah.
She has to be, you have never said, I want this shape or this height or this. You have said, she has to be on my thing, which you've just brought back now. What you've just said is that yes, men are beautiful things and blah, 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 blah. But the things you need to be on tap.
That's it.
On your table.
That's it.
And yes, you don't know what your journey will be, blah, blah, blah. But those particular things are essential for you.
Very essential.
Do you, as a man, as you, the type of fence that you are, do you experience adultery as violence in marriage?
Yes, I do. I believe that to be violence. So if we on the same page, a man going for another woman whilst he has a woman, is that what you mean? Okay.
Cheating, basically.
Cheating, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think anything that a man does is being instigated by a woman. Because women always will have the man's heart in their hands. So you are able to turn it the way you want it. Men are very vulnerable with women they love. And they will do anything just to get the love of their women.
Not the men I've met, but let's continue. No, let's continue. That's very interesting, because I definitely do see that there's a lot of noise from brothers who haven't made manhood maturity, and that's because they're frightened. Yeah? I understand violence against women as frightened males. And speaking to brothers who are comfortable as fences, they say basically the same thing you're saying, that the sisters are very powerful and they can manipulate the situation and turn it to as they choose.
Yes.
So, does that make you, I don't think it makes you scared, I don't think you're that, you haven't got those issues.
No.
But it does make you, I would say, responsible.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Very responsible.
very responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Today when you spoke to the girls, no, before that, brother, you didn't know me, I didn't know you. You had your format, I had mine.
Yes.
We didn't know any of this, we've only just found this out in the video before. So, I had asked you how many sisters have been sexually violated, how many sisters are having consensual sex, and how many of the princesses do you think are having sex against their will? And I was on you,
Mm-hmm.
in mind that you already had a format for volunteers, and I had my format for you, which is leave me alone, which you couldn't have known about, and I didn't know. And you went away. I couldn't understand why you needed to go away, because I couldn't understand why you wouldn't have known. You went away, you got the info, you came back. When you came back, I was elated and I sent a message, I love you, I love you. And you sent a message, I love you back. And I know you didn't know what I was on. You're being polite. And then I explained to you the level of sexual abuse and rape of what I'm used to.
Okay.
On average, meeting a princess in England, certainly in Jamaica. And surely when I came today, I was aware that maybe 1 and 2 princesses, there was some sex going on, consensual, possibly not, but it was 1 and 2 out of about 13.
Yes.
And I was like, rah! And you spoke to them, you were free. I watched their body language because it's my work, and the energy of females does change if they have been in certain situations with males. I watched your bank, I don't need to watch your body language because I know already, but I observed their body language, and you were sharing, and you were absolutely demanding from them that they be queens, absolutely demanding. The sisters were, some were yawning, some were looking on the floor, some were looking at each other, no one was interested in you, didn't care. You were absolutely demanding, and you kept going around until in the end, they were like, okay, yeah, okay, we have it, please, stop. Yeah. That takes a lot of surrendering to the feminine principle. But your surrendering is in masculinity, it's not outside of being a fence. So to me, it's an acknowledgement. I surrender to your masculinity, as I do with my champion. I really do, because I know what it is. And I have no business trying to compete with that because I'm being ridiculous. Yeah? A man is a man, if you know what a man is.
That's it.
Yeah? Okay, and a woman is a woman. So it's a case of complementarity.
Yeah.
And when I use the word surrender, I know it don't bother you, but some brothers, if I'm speaking to them and I use the word surrender, they're like, yes, that's right. But when it comes to them surrendering to the female or acknowledging value, because they haven't got it, and it's not safe to be male. what, I know what it feels like, I think you do, or you have observed what it, yes, how it feels to be a woman that feels vulnerable, but can you share how it feels to be a man from what you've seen, whatever, to be vulnerable, not confident in his own masculinity, and how he has to walk with that on life's path, because that can't be easy.
Mm. Well. So men also are very vulnerable, and to probably say choosing, if I really understand your question and where you're coming from, yeah. So I think last time there was a lady asking, can men also be vulnerable? So we started sharing on the platform on Facebook. Well, yes, we can also be vulnerable when we don't have what we want the women to do for us. Sometimes we cry because we have so many responsibilities to offer as men. Because one of the things that will make a man more vulnerable is when he cannot provide what a woman wants. It could be financial, it could be sexually, because with sexual, a woman has some orgasm that a man has to meet, and mostly men will come quick when we experience their orgasm before women do.
Yeah.
And so that's a big headache for men. Most men are very vulnerable to even approach women, because from their first experience, when they have sex and they got to know about themselves that they don't last in bed, they are so vulnerable to open up to other women.
Okay.
So men are very vulnerable. Personally, I'm so vulnerable as well to women on some levels. I know my space, I know myself so well. And so men are also very vulnerable sometimes. I don't know if I answered your question anyway.
You've answered a question I haven't asked, so thank you. So I don't need to ask that question. But I'm talking about brothers who haven't made the level of fence.
Okay.
Yeah, and have to walk around for the reasons you've shared and more, because they're not very good at, or they have not reached that maturity, but they've got to pretend that they're at a stage of being a man.
Good point. So yes, this is the thing. Most times, men will forget that they're not going to be babies anymore. They're not going to be babies forever. And every day you're going to be meeting beautiful girls wherever you go, beautiful women. And so you have to be committed to one thing. If it's a business you run, you have to be committed to one business. You know, you can't play all the jack of all trades. And so,
but you can try.
You can try, but still you have to have a master of one. One should be very solid. And so I'm so talented, very versatile, but I still have one thing that is